existence. Remember that when in the early days of tariqah, we came into tariqah and we saw these videos of Silat masters, and pretty graphic the extent in which the students of Silat and Islamic martial arts were training, and their tawakkul, their reliance upon Allah, their reliance upon the love of Prophet and their reliance upon their teacher. And they went through various types of trainings and difficulties, and then in the end they had a very extreme test in which these different hot things and difficulties were put upon them, and they kept their connection, they kept all their training, and very difficult to watch, very difficult to understand, and they had an immense reliance in their belief, and their faith would manifest. And the difficulty was for somebody who would run, and in the middle of running in that type of test you just feel the pain of the testing. And we thought that was interesting, and oh okay, that's one path. But in reality that is our own path, it just comes in a different way. Means that the strength in steel is not that it just became steel and it's strong. We have a metalwork called forging. You forge the steel. So they take a steel, they burn out impurities, because anything impure in the steel it weakens. So if you hit something and hit another piece of steel, any weakness in the metal makes that to crack. So through the forging, which is they put it in fire, they pound it, they put it in fire, they pound it, they put it in fire, they pound it, they put it in water. There's a reaction now with the water, the fire, the pounding, all of these difficulties to produce a sword that when it hits other metal it doesn't crack, and it cracks the other metal. It's not something that cracked. Then our own lives we realize that Allah has the same plan. لِهَدَانَ Allah, what we say in our Jummah, there is no guidance except from Allah guiding. People don't understand that unless they've been guided. So the steel that has been pounded and burned in fire, thrown in water, pounded again, put in fire, thrown in water, that steel if it can talk it will tell you what faith is, because the other steel doesn't know yet what's happening. Means guidance, people think they're guided. Yeah, until Allah brings you onto a path in which He pounds you, puts you into fire, throws you into water, puts you back into fire, pound you again, put you into fire and back into water, and this goes hundreds of times until you've been forged like steel. That your being and your faith very strong, your understanding strong, you are from the rijal in which they have been tested. And the importance of that is that anything not been tested, it is like a flower on a rock. The slightest difficulty, the slightest unease, discomfort, and it runs away. And life, we said the victory belongs to Allah, but the battle and the struggle belongs to men. The greatest battle is the one whom fights themselves. Means they enter into a path that, I want my heart to be gold, I want to have faith like Damascus steel, pure, strong, that my faith if it hits anything else will shatter it. Then Allah guides the servant towards guidance. And when they're gifted a path of guidance, Prophet described that anyone coming to us prepare for fire, prepare for difficulty, and gave a hadith for general people, in the last days your faith would be like holding a hot coal in your hand. And we describe this is the faith and iman al-Muhammadiyah, in which to keep the love, keep the sunnah, keep the way against every possible opposition to the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is just external. You make nasheeds, every Wahhabi like a dirty dog comes out and has to open their mouth. They're going crazy, don't do this, oh like this, oh like this. They want to say this or that, the only thing haram is them. They are walking haram. And Allah will rid the earth of 70,000 of these types of scholars. These are the days that are coming. Only thing that saves humanity and the Muslim nation is ishq and muhabbat of Sayyidina Muhammad. And life is going to be a testing. When the servant is tested, their faith becomes pure, and this becomes the reality of testing. That every time difficulty comes, every time unease comes, every type of blood, sweat, every type of sadness and tears, blood, sweat and tears, means they face calamities, blood flows, lives are affected. They face tears and crying and pain and suffering, and all to different levels, different servants, different stations. And sweat because of unease, conditions that are not known and only require faith. That is tomorrow coming, is everything going to open? Only tomorrow knows. And as a result, this is not something normal that normal men can enter into. So faith is not cheap that everybody has it. Every imam at the local center says, yes we have faith. No, you don't have faith, you merely accepted Islam. Those whom are like steel from Allah's factory, they know what faith is because they have been pounded and tested and smashed and thrown up and down and all around, and they continue. And their survival in testing is going to be their tafakkur. This is their lifeline. And